Hi guys, and welcome again to Live from the Show from CED Magazine. I'm Stuart Schlein. I'm at the SCTE Cable-Tec Expo 2012. I'll introduce this fine gentleman in a second. I just need to tell you this is the coolest thing I have ever seen. Barry Zipp is Industry Marketing Director for Ciena. Barry, first of all, talk about this and tell us why it's at a trade show for cable technologists.
Yeah, it's really a kind of a differentiating aspect of our booth,
Very
isn't
much
it?
so.
Right. You know, when you think of racing, you know, the first thing that typically comes to mind is velocity. So, you know, the driver who pilots his or her machine the fastest usually wins. And so we are talking today about how to differentiate on speed. Okay. Not necessarily bandwidth speed, but speed along the lines of service delivery and service agility and service assurance. So that's what this car is meant to signify, how service providers can differentiate along those attributes.
And I think it does a very prominent job of doing so. What are actually some of the products and deliverables that play to that motif for you guys?
The capabilities that we're highlighting here today are intended to underscore how Ciena helps service providers differentiate along the lines of service delivery, service agility, and service assurance. And when I talk about delivery, I'm talking about the ability of service providers to very rapidly, through automated provisioning techniques, turn up devices so they can have them ready to deliver services and generate revenue for their customers. With our devices, using the sophisticated software and other tools that we have at our disposal, service providers can activate and have in the network ready to go these devices within minutes. And that obviously means that if they can install them quick, they can start using them more quickly in their network. The second piece that I talked about was around service agility. When you think about a device, a service provider might need 1 gigabit per second capacity at a given time, but later on they may need to upgrade to 10 gig capacity. And with our devices, the way they work, through a simple software change at the NOC, along with a transceiver swap in the device, they can go from 1 gig to 10 gig in almost the blink of an eye. It's very, very rapid. So that's where I talk about agility. And then with assurance, you want to make sure that you give your clients, the service providers, the tools they need to very effectively monitor and report on all the performance elements of the network, so they know that they're operating at optimal performance and also meeting their service level agreement guarantees to their end users.
Excellent. The customer class we're talking about in the business community increasingly is a large, even sometimes enterprise level customer, right? We're seeing this shift in the cable marketplace toward larger organizations. And what do you see happening in the business environment at large for cable, and how do you play a role within that?
Yeah, you're right about the business services market, and that's where we serve both among MSOs who are here at this event this week, but also the service provider industry worldwide. We are, particularly with the cable providers, we're seeing a gradual move up market. Mm-hmm. They've been historically successful among smaller businesses, and now they're seeing both demand and the ability to grow their share among larger clients. But despite that commitment, that ongoing commitment in terms of resources and investment, they're still a minority player in the business services market.
Right.
And they've got to develop much more sophisticated methods to be able to target that demand and generate more revenue and profits. And so we work very closely with MSOs and other service providers to give them those tools to help them identify where those demand clusters are within their market and how they can economically go after them to generate more revenue for themselves.
I want you to drill down into that a little bit, because you and I were talking about it, and the work you do to help your customers identify their customers is pretty profound. So how does that all happen?
Absolutely. We use a tool set that we call geoeconomic analysis, or geoanalytics, and we combine publicly available data about business customers with proprietary data around the network design the customer has, their architecture, their reach, etc. And we combine that geographical mapping with these enterprise data profiles to figure out A, who are the best customers for them to target, and B, where does it economically make sense for them to extend their network to reach them? That could be over fiber, it could be over fixed wireless, but the bottom line is you want to give them a very cost-effective way to reach more customers in that group that makes best sense for them, and be able to generate a return on them as quickly as possible. And this is not theoretical, this is something that we use today with our service provider clients, and it's very, very, very effective.
It's one of, I think, many attributes that play to this theme. You guys describe yourself as a network specialist, the network specialist. What does that mean, and how does that resonate with this community here at this show?
You're right, so when we say that we're a network specialist, we are referring to our belief in combining deep technical expertise with a high-touch, collaborative approach to customer relationships. You know, we don't focus everywhere in the network. We focus on those capabilities of network infrastructure that help service providers scale, help them improve programmability, and also help them inherently build more reliable networks. And in turn, that helps them compete more effectively in their markets. And it's that combination of technical expertise in specific areas, whether it's packet optical transport, packet optical switching, or what we're talking about here with packet networking, that allows us to build those very successful, intimate customer relationships.
I think that word, you know, we talk about built for speed, but you mentioned agility, and that seems like a key theme that's driving some of your product development and decisions. I can't help but in closing comment on the fact that your last name is Zip, which plays in a very symmetrical fashion to the speed theme.
Hopefully I'm built for speed.
It's been a delight to talk to you about the business and also to sit in front of the coolest car ever. So from live from the show and SCTE's Cable-Tec Expo 2012 with Barry Zip from Ciena, I'm Stuart Schley. Thank
you very much.
You bet.
Appreciate it.